everyone, and welcome to the Intimate Talks interview series. I'm Asi Efros, and our special guest today is Dow Hickam, the owner of an amazing lingerie store, Top Drawer Lingerie. Hi, Dow. So nice to have you with us today.
Hello. It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Top Drawer Lingerie is the most aspirational store. Every emerging and established brand wants to be featured in Top Drawer Lingerie. So I wanted to have this conversation for the longest time, and I'm sure it will be super interesting for every brand owner. Um, you are the second generation of
I
store
am.
owners, and what have you learned from your father about running a lingerie store?
I learned everything I need to know about business, and I'm still learning. My father started in the pharmaceutical industry and took my grandfather's company. And long story short is he was very successful in it, turned this small family pharmaceutical company, made it public, sold out to another company, and went into retirement. So he knows quite a bit about business. When he started in this business, it was as a loan to a friend, and turns out the friend was mismanaging the money. And long story short, is the company was going to go into bankruptcy, and he was going to lose his loan. But he was retired at the time and looking for something to do, so he ended up buying it out of bankruptcy. And as he says, it proceeded to hand his head to him for the first several years because retail was an entirely different business um, than the pharmaceutical business. I've never had a business education. In fact, I was scared of numbers for a long time. I took Logic 1 and 2 in college just to place out of mathematics requirements. But I always knew in the back of my head I needed to learn it. After finishing school, I was floundering looking for something to do, and I really always wanted to do what my dad did. So I started learning business from him. And it's been 20 years, and I've learned a ton about business. My father's always emphasized, particularly in retail, customer service. And that's the way we try to stand out is by providing the best absolute customer service that we can, which unfortunately isn't that hard these days, considering when you go to a Home Depot or something like that, you end up wandering the aisles of Target alone, and you have a question and there's no one out there to answer it for you. Whereas we provide the exact opposite experience. I want it so that every woman that comes to Top Drawer, that we kind of scoop them under, the hardest part for them is getting through the door. Because they've got all kinds of anxieties and beliefs about what it's going to be like. They're concerned about being half naked in front of another person. That doesn't happen very often in life. Maybe with your doctor, maybe a few times in life, but so there's a lot of concern and trepidation that a lot of women have about coming here. And once we get them in the door, I want all those fears and worries to go away. That our staff, we're kind, we're friendly, we're not snobbish. We bring everyone in, we take them back to a luxurious, very well appointed and appropriately lighted dressing room. Um, and we walk them through the steps of getting a bra fitting. And it's really a judgment-free space. Most women, when they leave the dressing room, absolutely feel liberated, that all their fears, were washed away, and now they have this problem that's been kind of gnawing at them literally for years, and they finally found a bra that fits. And not only did they do it, they did it in a very reasonable amount of time. And and so that's the kind of level of customer experience we want to provide with our customers. We want to really usher them in, take them to the dressing room, take them out, and our staff does that from beginning to end. And then even after they leave the store, we continue communicating with them in various ways to keep up that level of service. Um, Another big thing is inventory. My father's always said that retail live and dies by the inventory. If you buy too much, then you don't have enough money to pay everyone. If you buy too little, you don't have enough for the customer. So it's this constantly ever evolving balance between getting just the right amount of inventory, and that's difficult, but achievable within a range of margin of error.
Oh, that's interesting. Such amazing wisdom. So what makes you like overbuy? Like something you see something beautiful or you think that something will sell really well, so you invest in this a little more.
In the last 20 years, we've made all the mistakes you could make. But really, we try to take the emotion out of buying. It's difficult for our buyers because I think they do get emotionally invested in some of the products, but the budget, the numbers are pretty clear of what we need to be buying and when and where. So to answer your question, yeah, how do you not overbuy? You stick to your budget.
Right.
That's really the way to do it. Now, coming up with a budget's a whole other thing, and we tend to divide our inventory into many different categories. One's basic replenishable items that we can replenish on a daily basis, and those we kind of set the minimums and maximums and let the computer do the work. And so literally we're if we sell three that week, we're going to turn around and buy three the next week.
Mhm.
um, it gets a little trickier with the fashion products that we want to buy from Curve, and about when to bring them in, when and where, because manufacturers don't necessarily spread all their delivery times evenly out over the season. So often we find ourselves having to make tough decisions earlier on in the season to bring things in. Um, it would be nice if there was more flexibility where we could hold orders and say, okay, let's stagger these orders out so that I can get just the right amount of inventory at just the right time.
Mhm.
But again, that's a pipe dream. I don't know if it'll ever come true, but we try the best that we can.
Wonderful. Such a great advice to separate business and emotions. So tell me about your team. What role do they play in your day-to-day operations?
They do everything. My job is to take care of them, and they take care of the customers. So I've got six full-time sales staff. I've got two part-timers that act as my buyers um, and sales staff and merchandising, et cetera. And then I've got two women that work in the back office with me that do receiving, ordering. They deal with shipping and other the various background things that need doing from time to time.
So in our phone conversation, you mentioned that you them a certain creative freedom,
Yes.
right? Can you
Well,
tell?
this is another thing I learned from my father. He says, to empower them to make the decisions they need to make the customer happy. Everyone who's been at Top Drawer has been here for a long, long time. We have one woman who's worked 34 years, another one who's been, several that have been here over 10 years. Most of them have been here longer than five. So everyone knows what to do, and they've seen enough scenarios that they know how to handle various customer interactions and things like that. So because of that, we really don't have a manager. I guess I'm the manager, but my philosophy is they know what to do. I've empowered them to do what they need to do to make the customer happy. So then I just try to get out of their way and let them make the customer happy. They will bring me some cases here and there of something that they think is wrong or whatever. And nine times out of 10, I say, let's just make the customer happy. Sometimes it's just to get the customer out of the store. But at times it's we will err on the side of being overly generous and making the customer happy, um, just to move on. So that's the idea is, and then my job's to stay out of their way and handle the things that they can't handle or won't handle. Taking out the garbage is one thing that I have to do a lot around here because they don't want to go to the dumpster. It's smelly. So and other various things that they don't want to do that I take care of around here. But
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic. It's music to my ears to just learn that you give your staff freedom and they're well taken care of. And I think that's what people want, when they work for someone to be kind of respected and
they like to
flourish.
be paid. They like to be paid well too. So
Nice.
we do pay them better than I think they could get anywhere else in a local retail store. And we offer health benefits and things like that they wouldn't get anywhere else. So to some extent, one of our staff who's been a lifelong retail person says, "Oh, Top Drawer is the place you go to retire in retail,"
Mm,
because it's not to toot our own horn, but we have the freedom to do things in a non-corporate way. So we can do things that maybe, sure, we could make more money if we didn't provide 100% of the health care for our employees, but you know, we'd have a retention problem. And that everyone that's been here I've known for, a long time. And I want to keep knowing them for a long time. So there's the personal aspect too.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And it's also, I feel like it's economically viable, right?
it
So
is.
and it as well.
It
Um,
is. It can be. Yeah, it certainly is.
that's wonderful. So what marketing methods have worked for you best?
Um, Over the years, we have tried almost everything, with the exception of billboards. Uh, and Houston billboards are rather expensive. We're talking, 25 to 50,000 a week
Mm,
for a billboard right outside our store.
mhm,
So we've never gone into that, but we have tried some cable television. We've tried some radio. Radio helped for a little bit, but it we didn't do just jingles on the air. It was actually live endorsements by the morning DJ that was very popular on a station that was predominantly women, or 54% women, I'd say. It was the station around town that everyone played in their offices. So we did have some success with that, and the effect was noticeable and immediate. But as time went on, I started to do my own inner polling, and I kind of discovered, okay, I think this is paying for itself, but I don't know if it's bringing us any more new customers now. And then when the pandemic hit, we were looking to save money any way we could, and so we let go of that. And fortunately, we haven't noticed a difference since. So it's kind of like when we started radio, we got a nice bump, and then I think it plateaued. And then after the pandemic, when we stopped doing it, it stayed on a trajectory of growth, but that's primarily through word of mouth.
mm,
We don't, apart from weekly emails that we send out, or we have a special where we give every customer 20% off on their birthday month, the entire month long, for anything they want in the store. So we'll email them for that. We'll email them for sales, and we send a weekly email out. And that's pretty much the extent of the marketing we do, apart from posts on social media and things like that. Oh, there is one other thing we do. I mentioned earlier about after the customer leaves the store, we have ways of communicating with them and carrying on that customer service afterwards.
mhm,
We have a software that allows us to text message customers, and we don't overly abuse that. We primarily use it for customer service. So the day after a customer makes a purchase and they leave, we text them, thank you for your purchase. If you have any questions or concerns, please text us back here, and we'd like to, answer any questions you have.
mhm,
And we find that does a couple things. Number one, it gives the customer the freedom and the permission to text us back and say, this is a little too tight for my tastes, or it's not fitting the way it was in the dressing room, which is a very common thing.
mhm,
And so we can intercede in that and bring them back in, and make an exchange, or kind of show them again how to put on the bra in a way that actually is comfortable. and we can resolve whatever issue it is before it becomes a problem and a resentment. I've seen it before where someone buys $100 bra, which is more money than they've ever spent on a bra in their life, $120 bra, and they get home, they didn't put it on exactly the way the fitter did, and it doesn't fit them quite the same way. They don't think it's comfortable, and they throw it in their drawer. And every time they open their drawer to put on a bra, they don't pull that one, but they get a little resentment about it that they spent this much money on this bra and it didn't work. So our goal is to kind of intercede in that process and give the customer permission and make it in an easy way that they can just shoot us a text back and say, this isn't working. Could you please help me? And so we do that to get all those things out of the way. And then that's the day after the sale. A week after the sale, we send them a second text message that says, if you enjoyed your service and your time at Top Drawer, would you mind leaving us a Google review? And since we started doing that, our I mean, I think we've gone up to over 11,000 Google reviews now. I think it's 4.8 or 4.9 stars, something like that. It's ridiculous. But I know that um, because we're one of the only bra fitters in town, I know that because a lot of the department stores are defunding their lingerie departments, that we're showing up pretty high in the natural listings as it is. Um, and then to add those Google reviews on top of it, we're outshining anyone locally that's here. So when you Google bra fitting or bra stores or lingerie stores in Houston, Texas, we're pretty much going to come up at first, apart from any ads, which we don't we don't really even do any Google ads now because it's we're pretty high in the natural listings, and I don't want to compete with myself over that. So that's the other side of marketing that we do is we solicit Google reviews, which is really helpful. And frankly, the software that we use does it all automatically. So the only time we have to um, do anything is when the customer is reaching back out to us saying, yes, this bra doesn't fit well, or I just left you a review. Then we can say, oh, thank you so much. That means the world to us, or something along those lines. So that's been very helpful.
It is. It's a fantastic strategy. You continue solving customers' problems even after they made a purchase. That's
Right.
amazing. Very brave, actually, I feel like, but also works really well. Um,
Thank you.
so, what technical innovations have you implemented?
I've been a big proponent of getting our inventory on RFID, radio frequency identification. Um, we used to do inventory at our store, and we'd have every staff member bring a friend, and we'd all stay late on a Saturday night and have to physically scan every barcode in the store, and it was rife with errors. I myself, I'd go to sleep that night and I'd have the image of barcodes burned into my retinas because I've seen so many barcodes that day. And I can't tell you how many times I'd be scanning a drawer and I'd stop to do something else and then come back and say, did I scan this already or not? I don't know. So it was rife with errors. And it took us a long time. It'd take 8 to 10 hours. And so, if you have 12 people, that's say 10 hours, 12 people, 120 man hours worth of labor
Mhm.
just to do this one thing. We transitioned to RFID several years ago. I don't know, maybe it's been 7 or 8 now. And it's made a world of difference. Currently, we have one scanner gun that one person can go around the store and do a scan with. And we end up doing several scans on an inventory day, but the process will take 2 to 3 hours. And so that's 2 to 3 man hours versus 120 man hours. Previously, we'd only end up doing inventory. We were supposed to do it once a year, but because it was so arduous and such a pain, we'd end up realistically doing it every 18 months or so.
Mhm.
Now we do it monthly,
Mhm.
and it's a lot less painful. And like my father famously says about inventory, stores live and die by their inventory. Well, having an accurate inventory makes all the difference in the world. Um, so doing it every month, we can get fresh numbers of exactly what we have in store, exactly what we've lost, exactly, we have a better control of our inventory by knowing exactly what we have at any given moment. So RFID has been one of those technological things. Something new that I've been experimenting with for the past 6 months or so with actual, I'm liking the data and the results I'm getting is leveraging AI and to help analyze my sales and my inventory, particularly when it comes to my replenishable inventory of minimums and maximums and products that maybe aren't making the cut. Their GMROI is not high enough, or their turns are not high enough. And previously, when I do that level of analysis, it's so hard to do it on a SKU level because I've got thousands and thousands of SKUs. I think at last count, we had 41 or 4,200 items that were on replenishment. And doing that level of analysis on 4,000 items is just a ridiculous proposition. So we'd end up breaking it up into categories or style colors or just styles or vendors and try to make the analysis at that level. But what I've been able to find is by leveraging AI, I can actually look at everything on a SKU level and have it flag the items that need review and then go in and take a look at those things. It can also help me improve, and I haven't implemented this yet, but this is something I'm starting to do, is I can enter in to a ChatGPT or other AI all the data I've got from POs. When I order a PO, when I receive a PO, and I can come up with an average number of I can come up with lead times for everything. This company takes 8 days to ship and receive. This company takes 12, et cetera, et cetera. And my goal is to use that information along with information about my inventory and my sales data and combine that all together to really be able on a item by item level come up with appropriate ship times and level of inventories for each item rather than just doing it by category or generally speaking. Applying one rule to everything. I can apply multiple rules to fast moving and slow moving inventories. I can look at fast shippers and have maybe a leaner inventory because I know they're going to ship quickly versus people who ship very slowly. I might want to have more in stock. So the AI is kind of an exciting thing, and I'm excited to see how it's unfolding and how rapidly it's changing. When I first started to do this a couple years ago, the AI wasn't powerful enough to do what it's doing today. So, like I said, in the last 6 months or so, I've been using it more and more often to help me analyze the sales and the data to come up with a good inventory numbers on a SKU level. I've seen so much change in the industry over the last 20 years. I can imagine the pace of that change will only increase in the future. And the companies that change with the times and learn how to adapt and shift the way they do things uh, tend to be more successful than the ones that are very rigid about this is the way we've always done things and this is how it's going to be done. Um, so my plan for Top Drawer is to keep along that path of utilizing the basic principles of retail sales and customer service and leverage whatever technologies I can to make inventory more efficient, to make customer service better, to make even my staff happier, because ultimately I keep them happy and they keep my customers happy.
Oh, thank you so much. Three parting questions, if I may.
Okay.
So, if Top Drawer Lingerie had a soul or personality, how would you describe it?
It would be a matriarch where she's here, she welcomes everyone to her, she takes care of everyone um, in the best way that they can, and she meets them wherever they are, whatever stage they are in life, and tries to help them and provide for them the best she can. And I without tooting our own horn, I think we do a pretty good job of it. So matriarch.
Very nice. And why do you think lingerie is such a powerful form of self-expression?
Oh, I may be the wrong person to ask about this, but
Would be nice to hear men's point of view.
I've talked to women who come to the store and talk to them about what they buy and things like that. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally I find someone who's willing to talk with me about them themselves, and they will often buy these fantastic abad or ID Sarieri sets, and they're wearing it under their surgical scrubs. And it's the way that they get up and go about their day, and they have their business attire on or their surgical scrubs or whatever it is that they've got going on, but underneath they've got their own little secret. And that little secret kind of empowers them during the day of this kind of pleasant little, you know, I don't know how to say it, but this little dopamine hit, and then they can think about, oh, oh yes, I have this on today. No one here knows that. This is my own little secret. I wonder what these people would, think if they knew, things like that. So I think it's a fun little it can certainly be an ego boost or a morale boost or
Feel
just
good item.
a feel good item,
Right.
exactly. But that extends not only to the lacy, pretty things, but the basic everyday bras too, so that you know, the women that wear a well-fitting bra, I've seen, and everyone in our industry has seen this, but a woman puts on a good-fitting bra, and all of a sudden she has a waistline because it lifts everything up, and all of a sudden, she's got a waist. And so it makes her more confident throughout her day because she knows she's looking and feeling better. And my staff does an excellent job of meeting every woman exactly where she's at in the process. There's a story of a young woman who was getting fit, and ultimately my staff ended up taking off her top too, just to make the customer feel more comfortable. So they were both sitting here topless, and they were talking about it, and it came out in such a genuine and easy way that it really helped that customer loosen up and not feel so self-conscious at that moment in time. Speaking from a man's point of view.
Thank you. And so when you think about legacy of top drawer lingerie, what would you like customers to remember about the store?
Top Drawer already has this reputation and legacy because it's been around for so long.
Mm.
And it's the place where mothers take their daughters when they need bras. It's the place where, you know, grandmothers come. And so it's really um, it's become that sort of store, and it has been that sort of store in Houston for a long time. That if you want the best products and you want the best service, you come to Top Drawer, and that's the reputation we have. As we transition, um, and my dad steps further and further away from the business, and I step further and further in. The whole idea is going to be just to maintain that. I really love that legacy for Top Drawer, that it really services and is there for Houston women. And I say Houston, but we have women drive from 40 or 50 miles away in different cities just to come here for the experience and to get fit. Um, so I really want our reputation as a fit store to maintain and have that level of customer service.
Well, thank you so much, Dow, for your
Thank
time
you.
and your
Thank you,
insights.
Asi. Thank you. I'd like to thank you and Ellen for providing this opportunity for me. I
Uh,
I love that you've thought of me. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's our pleasure.
It's been wonderful talking to you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. If you find this content useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to see more videos from Intimate Talks interview series. I'm Asi Efros. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.